Hello and welcome to Squeenie Central. I was away for 5 days on a girls' workout retreat, and I could not wait to get back to see what my garden looks like. So I am back now. I've already spent a day. I've been home I think it's Wednesday, so I've been home a day and a half. And I've already weeded a whole bunch, and I'm going to show you the whole garden. Fast speed, okay? And then we'll do details of things later. Here we go. Let me turn this around. Now I'm at what we call the compost garden. That's our compost bin over there. The chickens hang out there all the time. I have this fence all around it so they can't get in the summertime. And in here, this morning, I was out here weed whacking all the weeds that grew up. I need to get some wood chips in here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I did plant, after I weed whacked, my okra in here. So I can keep an eye on it, make sure it starts, hopefully it gets past these weeds and keep the weeds down. I'll probably wood chip when they start to pop up around them. But right here I have butternut squash on this side. There's actually way too many plants. There's 4 butternut squash plants. I did throw in here the other day pumpkin plants. There's 2 there and 2 there. They're very yellow. I'm not sure. I'm sure one of them will make it. I hope. They're like small pumpkins. I could not tell you what kind. I don't remember. But pumpkin. These things popped up around our milkweed, common milkweed, which we planted when we first got here when there was a tree here because we had a bunch of those, what are they called? Spotted lanternflies. Now they're mostly gone due to the chickens, and because if they eat this, they die. I did not plant back here yet, but I'm going to, hopefully today, just throw some sunflower seeds in the ground here. Along this side is some more okra right up in there. And then right here is my one watermelon. I believe this is a cantaloupe right here. Yeah, I think this is the cantaloupe plant. And then over here I have 2 of some kind of cool melony thing I had came across. So we'll see what happens. And then my fig tree came back. Still haven't had figs from it. This is the 3rd year. I thought it had died because of the cold and because it wasn't covered, but thankfully I was wrong. It has tons of weeds around it. So there's a lot to do that I just can't physically do at one setting or one time or in any kind of time. So let me close this up, so if I forget, the chickens will be in here. And then I'll be mad at my chickens. So right now there's really nothing in the greenhouse over here. I did put some ginger in pots to start sprouting. They were semi-sprouted before I left. Not really. They had nubs. They're over there in the corner. But they did not sprout. I have to get rid of a bunch of very spiky dead lemon tree pieces. The lemons, I have pink variegated lemons out here. That was them. They died because of the cold and I couldn't keep them warm enough in the winter, but they come back. The lime did not. There's some kale in there, some Swiss chard. I need to clear it out, but that hasn't happened yet. Magic and gravy right here. All right, so garden 2. Outside of garden, I have planted a small rose bush. Very small. Have it covered so chickens don't mess with it. I just planted it like a week ago, so it'll get bigger soon, hopefully. All the cilantro has gone to seed. So right here are the seed pods that will dry out, and I'll shake them all over the place and I'll have cilantro again come the fall. Leaves under here are a couple of onion plants in the back. I don't know what I have back here. I don't know what I planted, but it's bolted. So I'll probably give that to the chickens. More cilantro. It kind of took over. Probably shouldn't shake so much, huh? Maybe I will take all these out. I don't think I'm going to put any in here. I'm going to take this out. This was, or is, Brussels sprouts. I need to spray it with something. The caterpillars, they just found it. It did not look like this yesterday. So I need to come out here and spray it. That's a nasturtium. I have my sweet peas over here. I've been grabbing off of these and eating them on the corner. This is one of the beds with potatoes in it. I think these are Yukon potatoes. They need some water. There's a kale plant in there as well. This is all potato. This is all the fern of asparagus. It is done for the season. Asparagus is a cool weather plant. So we let the green ferns grow all summer long. Eventually they'll turn brown. And then once they turn brown, all the energy that they had was sent back down to the roots. And we just cut them off at the ground level. And next fall, they'll come up again. There's another one. There's more over here. My gosh. Ton of weeds. I really haven't been over here yet to weed. I did not weed this garden. I weeded part of this garden, but not this section at all. There's garlic in there somewhere. I'll get it eventually, or I won't, like last year. Over here's another potato bed with one cilantro plant in it. Again, I don't remember what potatoes are in here. I'd have to look on my planner app. But they'll probably be ready. I've been pinching off the buds and flowers so that they're not trying to make, send all the energy to making seeds, because potatoes do make seeds. But most people usually start with the root. It doesn't realize that we want to eat its roots, but it still wants to make seed. So I pop off the flowers and the seeds. The seeds are actually poisonous, so you want to make sure you don't eat those. So I don't think that one needs water. But down here we have 4 pots of sweet potatoes. So I decided to do the sweet potatoes in pots this year because they went so deep down into the ground. I could not get them out last year. It was really hard. So this way I can roll these things over and dump them out. I am going to add more soil. You see they're only halfway. They're a little low. After it rained a whole bunch, it shrunk. So I'm going to add some more soil, which will just allow potatoes to grow more. This is that bed. It's a mess. On the left side of the bed, though, we've got a kale plant. We've got some, oh no, bugs. What's eating? I think ants? I don't know what that is. But those are rhubarb, I believe. Not rutabaga, but rhubarb. Those 3 oval-like leaf plants. And there's some celery right down the middle there. This bed needs a good weeding and some mulch. I have not been able to mulch. More potatoes. Gotta pull some more off of that. Alright, I stopped real quick to go take that leaf over to gravy. Again, just pulling off the buds on here. I tried to tie this up a little bit to hold it upright some because I have a bunch of onions in here. I have not been successful. If you can see, there's like a white rope on here. Maybe I should have just made it higher. Yeah, I just tried to pull it in some so that the onions that are surrounding the potatoes can get some light and some water. Hopefully they don't die off. These are like the best looking ones. So I just got to keep an eye on them. But after I get the potatoes out, they'll be able to breathe some more. Some more onions over here. And a kale. And a beet, which looks like they're almost ready to come out of the ground. A cilantro. I do want to make sure I get these. I don't want these to root in here. I'll take this over to the goats and the chickens. But I also have 3 or 4 green tomato plants in there. They were extra. So I threw them in there and they're doing great. Again, don't remember what I planted here. But I planted it like in the fall and it didn't come up. So let's move on. So as we pass from garden 1 over to garden 2, this is my blueberry section. I still need to get more of this fencing to put around it because otherwise the chickens will come and dig the blueberry pots out. They all need to be refilled too and weeded because I haven't been here, so I'll get back to that. Looks like birds already took the beginning of the blueberries. I may not get any from my plants this year. I go blueberry picking. I don't really have these plants for us to eat off of. We try to have one to snack on. I cover it. But I may have missed that window by being gone. These are 2 more that are going to eventually get over there in between the fencing area. But they're not going to produce a bunch of milkweed right there. I did plant, but I need to water a grape tree here. I don't think it's going to make it. I waited too long to plant it. It looks like a stick. We'll see. But then over here at the entrance, I put up a new trellis. I shared that earlier. I did put the roses in for this trellis. It's like climbing roses. Need to weed back around here. Again, remember I've been gone for 5 days, so everything is super grown right now. Super, super grown. Dill welcomes you when you walk in. My garlic, I have started pulling it. On this side was all soft neck, so they were done early. The rest of this is hard neck. They're getting there. When your garlic has 3 to 4, 5 leaves on the bottom, brown. These guys over here are really almost ready. You pull them out. These in the middle still have time. My elephant garlic, I've pulled several of them. I think I'm going to pull all of them. They're just weird this year. I've never seen them do this yellowing thing before. It's like the third year I've grown elephant garlic. I'm not sure what's happened or what happened to them. So I'm probably going to pull them because I don't want them getting infected. So whatever I have, I'll have. They just might not be really good. Or really big, I should say. They'll be fine. This right here is a zucchini. I don't remember now, actually. It's some kind of zucchini I got from Gurney. I'll find it and put it on the screen. I can't remember the name of it. It's lightning something, I feel like it's called. But I planted 4 of those over here because they're going to trellis up over to meet the cucamelons, which are already starting. That tiny thing right there is a cucamelon. There's a bunch in the back that I'm trying to get to come this way. There's some over here that I need to get that way. These are tomatillos. Now, I haven't planted tomatillos here in 3 years, but every year they grow. I'm thinking I really like it here, and it's fine if they're here. I don't really have anything else planted in this space except for my cucamelons. Those strawberry tomato plants you see, I might actually pull up. They are from tomatoes that I guess got pushed down here from the other side where the tomatoes were last year. So I'm really gonna see if I want to keep. I might keep a couple. Like those over there I'll probably keep because they're on the edge. I don't know if I'm gonna keep that one in the middle or this one here. There's some on the outside and some dill over here. So if you let this dill go to flower, which is what this is doing, it will spit its seeds out and they will be everywhere, and you will be a lucky dill owner. Not much you have to do after that, but let it go. So these are tomatillos. I think these are all just probably regular green, giant green tomatillos. I definitely don't need all these plants. So I'm probably, that one's going to stay. I actually weaved it into the thing so it can go up. I don't need 50 of these plants. I don't know. I might pull these 2 out. Again, just getting home. Have to make these decisions in the next couple days. There's a bunch of cucamelons trying to grow down in here amongst the weeds. And I really want cucamelons. We hardly got any last year, so I don't want them to be sacrificed for anything else. So cucamelon right here. Head towards the thing. It will cover this whole thing in about a month or 2, month and a half. This is where tomatoes were last year on this side. So I just let whatever come up. I didn't actually plant anything over here this year. I literally just let whatever come up in the tomato world come up. I know what was here last year, so it's not a super mystery. There's only like 3 type over here. Some Principal Borghese, which is like a small plum cherry tomato. It's a combination of both. And then I did plant some sweet potatoes in here because I had extra. So I'm still going to be taking them out of the ground. I'm just trying to get this guy to move this way and not overtake the tomatoes just yet. These are not getting trimmed. I guess will come through here. Again, I've been gone. Of course it's not getting trimmed. Nothing's been trimmed. Unless I did it yesterday. But sweet potatoes. I think I'm going to pull this tomato plant out of the way, because I do have some purple sweet potato slips that just came. That's going to go. So I don't want this over here. Throw it over the fence. And since I've said that, I'm going to pull these. You're watching this in live. Pulling plants that didn't do anything. Actually, I'm probably going to replant these and sell them. I'm almost positive the Principal Borghese. I'm not. This one's going to go too. So I might as well take it up. And you know what I'll do? I'll trim them as well. Yeah. So this is going to be more sweet potatoes. Everything needs to be watered. I was hoping it would rain. I think it's supposed to rain Thursday. And as I turn around, smack into the raspberry area. I got my first 2 raspberries yesterday. They're way on the bottom. You couldn't even see them. I was pulling weeds and I found them. But raspberries and my hardy kiwi, which is going crazy, mad, wild. I'm going to have to figure that out still, but you never know. I'm really going to have to cut it when I can trim it when trimming time comes. But I'll have raspberries here in the next week or so, and I'll be coming out for breakfast. I planted cucumbers on both sides of this trellis, and I came out yesterday and just tried to guide them up. I had tied a couple of them so they would go up, because of course all plants want to go lay on the ground. So I'll just come out here every day and make sure that they're going up and not out, so they're not in that bed. And they smell, oh, so cucumbery. Darn it, I'm going to have to do something to block that smell from the cucumber beetle. This one was smart. He made his own way. Those are their tendrils going up. There's 4 over here. There's 5 over there. There's 3 different types. Couldn't tell you right now. I will put it on the screen. Over here, we have a couple of pepper plants. I got to deal with tying some of these tomato plants up. I didn't even plant these. They're tomato babies from last year, so I believe these might be black cherry or chocolate cherry. I'm not 100% positive. I know there was chocolate cherry here, but there's also another tomato here, and I don't remember what it was. We've got some, I believe these are lunchbox peppers right here. First one. And there's some more pepper plants in there behind the dill. The dill is a good smell deter for other animals, for other bugs that want to eat your plants. But when I stand here, if you could smell this, it is just cucumber heaven. So I have got to make sure I protect these suckers, because I want that taste. There are some babies growing on here, right there. Oh, this might be the English cucumber right there. The long, skinny green ones. They're really cool. There's nothing really planted over here. I feel like, I'm not sure what that is. I didn't pull it because I wasn't sure what it was yesterday. It's not a weed. I don't think it's a tomatillo, but I'm not sure if it's an eggplant. I don't think it's an eggplant either. So I'm probably going to pull it, because it's probably, if it's a tomatillo, I don't need it here. But it's here. So I'll walk through my raspberries that are jumping beds. I'm going to pull these guys out. Tomato plant, I'm letting it stay there. I'll probably get a stick in the ground and pull it up soon. Under the awning of the hardy kiwi, there's some lettuce that was able to break through when it cooled off some. There's some also in here. I have to look back and remember what they were. But a lot of this is empty space of weeds came in, because when I planted that's going to be raspberries. Oh, it's dark in here. You can't even really see, can you? Well, when I planted the lettuces, it decided to jump to 90 degrees for 3 days, so nothing started. And here is peppers, a beet that wants to come out. He's asking to come out, so I will take him out. Oh, he's tiny. It's all right. Some onions are in here. I planted some fennel yesterday in the back. Lots of onions, looking good. Up in here, lots of onions in here. This is my 3 sisters bed, which has way more than the 3 sisters items. So we have popcorn. I grow popcorn, not sweet corn. I think next year, because I'm probably going to have way more popcorn than I'll be able to use in 2 years. Next year I might plant some sweet corn. In between, on this side they started growing. There's some dry beans. You can see right here starting to grow up. And then squash, some late squash coming up. Round, I planted only 3 kind. Round, patty, and Italian something. I don't remember, but they were supposed to be pretty squash vine borer resistant. They don't necessarily need a stick, but I gave this one because it was really falling over. I may stick all these up and try to cut off the bottoms like last year, so that these onions can grow. And there's celery in here as well. I think there's 4 celery in there. Over here is my black-eyed peas are supposed to be growing, but they didn't grow. So I threw some in the garden and someplace else to see if they sprout. I don't know if there's something wrong with my seeds. And then I'll move them over here if they sprout. Otherwise, I'm gonna cry. I still have time to plant them. This is my strawberry patch with string beans. So these are supposed to be bush beans. I don't know why they look like they're trying to grow a little more than bushy. They look like they're trying to vine. I mean, if they want to, they can vine on that right back there. But that is definitely a chocolate cherry plant. That's all that was here. Chocolate cherry, chocolate cherry. I let those stay because you can never have enough chocolate cherry tomatoes. If you don't know, go get yourself some. Oops. Go get yourself some. Just trust me. And I may have to, you see there's some strawberries starting here. There's one down there. This is a bed that is, I believe, half June bearing, half everbearing, which means that I will get strawberries throughout the entire summer. But this bed needs to be watered. Ooh. Yeah, these weeds are like, don't take me out. But I grew beans with them because they can benefit each other. I did the same thing here in these beds. I haven't even come looked at these guys yet. So in the back I have dry beans that grow up the trellis. There are strawberry plants. These were planted weeks after those guys. So these strawberry plants need some water. They'll get bigger soon. I think this bed is my June bearing bed. And this bed is all ever bearing. So these beds will be strawberry beds until I decide they're not. Because strawberries come back yearly. I also planted bush beans in with the strawberries, and the pole beans or dry beans are against that climbing trellis piece right back there. All right, squash row. Right here is winter squash. So I have a Hubbard squash, a kukuzi squash, which is supposed to be, resistant to the borers. Next to it is spaghetti squash. And then we have zucchini rampicarto. I'm sure I'm saying it wrong. It's also resistant to the spaghetti squash. I did plant onions in here, but they did not seem to make it. I couldn't tell you why. So I'm going to probably put something else around the edge that'll be fast growing, but has a smell, so it'll help deter. I mean, the onions took over here. They were planted way before the onions over there. This is a loofah. Loofah will take over. I only have 2 of them. I hope there's only 2. Oh, crap. Oh, yeah, no, only 2. Okay, good. Loofah is a fast-growing, continuous grower. I do have mint that's still coming out. This was a whole bed of mint right here. But I'm keeping it out of the bed because those are my raspberries. 1, 2, 3. Those are Joanne J raspberries. That if they had already been in the ground, they would have given me raspberries starting at like the middle of May. So I'm excited for that. This is going to be their bed. Onions. That's supposed to be a flower. I don't know. I don't know. Over here is artichoke. So I had planted 3. I planted this one like 3 times actually from seed. Never took, so we have 2, which is totally fine. And then there's onions in here, and there's a couple tomato plants. I don't know what kind of tomatoes these are at all because they're from what came up last year, but I never got to them because I couldn't see them between the craziness. If you didn't see what this bed looked like last year, you need to go back because you couldn't even see this bed last year. It was really bad because I put in this bed compost from my compost garden, my compost area that I let my family mostly manage, but they didn't manage it the way they were supposed to. It wasn't mixed enough. It didn't have enough water. So all the seeds were still there, even with the chickens going in it. And it grew some crazy stuff. Nothing edible. It just grew like mad. This year, everything's gone. Thank goodness. So now I can actually use the bed. And what it was supposed to be last year, an artichoke bed, which I will hopefully be able to maintain to come back next year. They're long growing, but if I can, it takes a while to get a flower, so I really need them to be in the ground and started before spring even starts. So we'll see. I'm going to work on that. All right, here is I think my last potato bed, and there are again around this one as well. There are onions in here. You can see them right there. Onions in there. This is the one bed that has not been actually done yet. These are tomato plants from last year. Didn't plant a whole lot of tomatoes this year. Just let what came up come up. These are like a Wisconsin kind of tomato, like a small, not bite size. They're not cherry tomatoes, but they're not slicing. They're like in between. So they're cool. I'm going to plant soy beans in here. If not today, tomorrow. I'm going to get this mostly soybean. Maybe something else, but mostly soybean. On this side is some dill. I need to pull those red wagweed, whatever they're called, out. That's a tomatillo. That one's going to get pulled because there are a bunch over here and then the bunch on the other side. So this is going to be tomatillo on this side. There were some, I don't know what this tomato is, but I'm letting it stay. There was a couple of soybean I planted in here, but they were overtaken by the tomatillo. So there. We'll let tomatillo have its side. It was over here last year. It can have it back. I'm not going to fight it. And then more dill. Oh, look at that dill. I was wondering, unfortunately, I haven't seen any swallowtail caterpillars, which love dill. Everyone else has seen them. I haven't. So they'll eat the dill down to nothing, but that's fine. They'll come back. Last bed is the tomato pepper bed. I had just moved that plant yesterday over there, so that's why it looks so poorly. I'll give it some more water later on today. It'll be fine. It'll perk up. Green giant tomatoes. They look like potato leaves, so their leaves are totally different. I had to look on my thing to see what everything else over here is. Some of these were volunteers. I think that's a pineapple I planted. A pineapple, maybe not a pineapple. No, these are paste tomatoes. I think they're the Amish paste tomatoes right there, and down there it has to be strung up. They all need to be trimmed. I think this is a black cherry that I actually planted today. I did plant one or two just to make sure. Some shishito pepper plants here. Oh, I think this is a banana pepper. Look at that guy. Guess that's our first one. I'll call him later. More tomatoes. More dill. And this is back on we were on the other side earlier of the pepper plants. That's a shishito pepper. They always have all these leaves. I believe this is shishito. Yep. So that'll be out soon. And I have some basil that I planted in some random areas around here. So this is the garden. It looks a hot mess. And it's a garden. It'll produce lots of food, hopefully, that I'll be able to use and sell. Oh, gotta get those flowers off those potatoes. But that's my mojito mint bucket. Up on my deck, I do have a bunch of stuff as well growing. My herbs are mostly in pots on the deck. I have 2 green stalks up on this deck that are growing various things. So I'll give you a green stalk tour another day. But thanks for joining me. If you have any questions, please ask. I do run a nonprofit called Imagine Youth that helps people learn how to grow, start their own gardens, and all that fun stuff. So I love doing this, and hopefully you enjoy watching and learning as well. Have a blessed day. Bye.